Hello, and welcome to the Empowerography Podcast. This is a platform created for women's voices to be heard and a place to share their stories, journeys, and successes with the world for the purpose of helping other women who might be on similar journeys. We are empowering women one episode at a time. I'm your host, Brad Walsh, so kick back, grab one of your favorite beverages, and enjoy the stories. The world needs to hear your message and your story, so don't deny the world of that gift within you that the universe has given you. Someone out there needs to hear your story because it will support them in feeling hope, inspired, and even transformed. Do you want to discover how I help get my clients out of their own way, show up, and confidently share their message? I would love to extend an invitation to you to join me in my free masterclass, Start Your Own Podcast from Idea to Implementation, on Wednesday, April 5th at 1 p.m. Eastern. You can find the registry link in the show notes. Hope to see you there. Hello there, Brad Walsh here, your host of the Empowerography Podcast. Today, my guest is Sabrina Victoria. She is the creator and visionary behind Her Nation, an NLP practitioner, a life coach, a TEDx speaker, host of the Listen In podcast, the owner and founder of Human Better 365, the host of the Human Better podcast, and the co-host of the Sober Society podcast. Welcome, Sabrina. I am so honored and excited to have you here. How are you doing today?
Wow, you did your research.
I did. I don't fuck around.
Yes. You found all the things.
I was worried that I might have missed a thing or two, but thank you for that confirmation.
Yes. So good. All the things. All the things.
How you doing today?
Always amazing. Every single day I wake up. Right?
I love that. Any day we wake up on the green side of the grass is an amazing day.
This is what I'm saying, yo. This is what I've been trying to tell people. It's, dude, you didn't die. It's a good day.
I love the energy. I love the attitude. So let's jump right in. Sabrina, that is one hell of a lot of hats you wear and quite a resume. How do you find time for all of this? And how do you prioritize and organize? And how important is prioritization and organization for you?
Oh, so one of the things that I talk about is time management. That's always how do you do all the things? And listen, I don't manage my time. I manage my energy and where my attention is when I have energy. So I follow what's called peak energy times. So I know that I am a total morning person. I can wake up at 5 a.m. and be on. I'm 4 hours of sleep and just ready to go. However, right around 3 o'clock, I'm kind of sort of over it. Like I'm done. Then I have another peak energy right around 7, 8 o'clock where I can go again from 7 till midnight. No issues, no problems. So right around those areas in my day, give or take an hour or two, is when I'm going really hard. I've got priorities. I have a list of 1 through 4 of priorities, a list like hundreds and hundreds of things to do. I only look at the ones. The 2s, 3s, and 4s don't matter. Only look at the ones. And I always make sure that at least one thing that I'm doing that day is bringing money towards my business. So during those peak energy times, working on my ones, the most important things that are supposed to be done that week, and then making sure that at least one of those things is bringing money in towards my business. And everything else, I just don't worry about. I just don't worry about it. I rehash my 2s, 3s, and 4s every week or two, and it's a continuous list. I think that's one of the things that I've really just come to recognize. Being a human is a never-ending list of things to do. So just get over it. The list is never going to end. So this whole feeling of, once I get, it's never ending. It's just a thing that you have to be okay with. And instead of concentrating on, the list is never done, the list is never done, instead just concentrating on the few things that you need to get done that day or that week and making sure that you're doing it during the times when you have the most amount of energy. And then when you're not having so much energy, have a list of things to do that I call zombie tasks, where it's like laundry, calling your mom or doing dishes or things that you don't need mental capacity to be able to do during more of those lulls. And that's how I'm just continuously just knocking things off, because I've learned to manage my energy and where my attention is during that energy.
I love that you made that distinction of managing your energy versus managing your time and the tasks and all of these things. You're a woman after my own heart because I can get up early on 3-4 hours of sleep and just go. And then at night, I'm a night owl. I've always been a night owl. So I can stay up till 12, 1, 2 in the morning working on stuff and you don't feel it. It's just, that's where my creativity comes out, is in that zone in the evening. And I love doing that. I love being able to do that. It's incredible.
It's the best. But when you have to figure it out for yourself, everyone's different.
Yeah, for sure.
So like everyone has their own peak energy time. So you just have to, I do this sometimes on podcasts where I'll just, you knew yours. Like I'll just ask right off the bat, like, when do you have the most energy? Everyone knows. They're like, oh, I'm there. Oh, right around this. Oh, within seconds. So it's like, we innately know. It's just what we do is we wind up doing dumb stuff like scrolling on the phone, like answering texts, whatever, running, exercising during the peak instead of during the lull. So you just have to switch things around sometimes so it makes sense. So you're not mentally exhausted during your peak energy time.
Yeah, for sure. And I've also found that a lot of creatives, the nighttime is their best time. That's where they get the most creative because no one's around. They can just focus and get shit done without any interruptions, right?
Yeah.
So I would love to know, with you wearing so many hats, what does your morning routine look like?
Ooh, Sabrina does everything against the rules. Everything against the rules. And I'm not even going to lie. Literally every morning I laugh to myself. If people just knew what my day looked like, it would be a disgrace to the coaching world. I don't meditate. I don't ponder. Nothing. I don't listen to anything. I don't exercise in the morning either. I don't eat in the morning either. I usually fast until around 2 or 3 in the afternoon, maybe even all the way to dinner time. So I also don't eat very rarely during the day. But I get up, I do my morning just taking care of my body, and then I literally sit down at my computer and open up my email. But yeah, that's the first thing. I mean, that's the morning routine. I open up my email and I just start going through emails. I don't look at social. I don't look at my priorities. I don't look at all the things that you're supposed to do or not do. I go right to my email, which is overload always. And I like it. I go through everything. I make sure that there's nothing that I need to be missing or aware of. Podcast emails that I'm missing, which I did this morning, and a flow through everything and just make sure I'm checking things off and then kind of just go from there according to what's pulling me in any direction. And I don't feel there's anything wrong with that.
Whatever works for you, right?
Yeah. I could see individuals be like, well, if you were to do that, but it's not broken to me. Like it's totally working for me. I get so much done during my days. I am confident that I get more done in 4 hours than what most people get done in probably 2 days. Like I am confident in that.
Shit.
Yeah, I really am. People get distracted, dude.
Yeah.
With everything. I have no notifications on my phone. I stay away from social media. I've automated a lot of my social media and I just get to work. I start getting on calls. I have calls booked early in the morning. This is 9 a.m. Eastern over here.
Yeah.
Immediately. Woke up, went to my email, got on a podcast. I mean, we're just rolling in the morning.
That's it. I love it. Disruptor. Fuck the routines.
Yes.
What drives, motivates, and inspires you to keep going and excelling at all that you do, Sabrina?
I love this question because I also am a podcaster. So I talk to individuals all the time about this push-pull energy of having a vision for yourself and being pulled, I guess, towards that energy, like allowing it to pull you forward versus a push mentality where you are being forced to do something. And I talk about all the time that the reason I feel like I've been so successful is because I work off of a push and a pull. I don't think there's anything wrong with running away from something to create momentum. So my whole story is filled with lack of money. Single mom, no money, abusive relationship, no money. For the majority of my life up to this point, it has been in lack. And a lot of my motivation for how hard I work in my business early on was not wanting to go back to that lifestyle anymore,
Right.
not wanting to have to live in the anxiety and the heaviness of that anymore. And that was like the catalyst for the momentum that has gotten me to where I am. However, I don't have a need to get rid or heal from that like fully. Will I at any point? Maybe, but I use it because the reason I use it is because I have a huge vision, and my vision is so clear for my community and for my brand. However, I deal with imposter syndrome. I deal with not good enough, just like everybody else. So sometimes that vision gets a little wonky. Sometimes it gets a little blurry. Sometimes I'm not so sure if I can do it. And when that starts to happen, that's when people start to falter. That's when people fall off. That's when people have breaks. That it's like at that point, instead of me floundering around and getting scared and hiding in my bed watching Netflix, I then turn on the thing that's pushing me, and that is not wanting to go back. So I'm constantly either getting pulled towards my vision or pushed forward, running away from my past. And I think that is causing just a really awesome, consistent movement in my business because there's movement on both sides of me. If you're doing that visually, which has helped me, the brand, the community, which is ultimately the goal. The goal is for me to be this super successful person. The goal is I now have an obligation, an obsession towards building out this community that I have built for the women within it. So it's not I want to anymore. It's I freaking have to. And that feels good for me. That might not feel good for everybody. That might be too heavy for some people. But for me, that feels so good. Like I'm working towards something every single day. And I wouldn't have it any other way.
I love that because I feel the same way. It's not that, yes, of course, I want to do the work I do, but it's now a point where I have to do this. There is no choice. Yeah. This is my purpose. This is my mission. And there's no saying no to it. Yeah. I have been chosen to do this and I have to do it, plain and simple.
Yeah.
I love that. Can you share with us what you were doing for a living before you made the jump into entrepreneurship and what the catalyst was for that shift into entrepreneurship?
Yeah, I was selling newspapers. For those of you that don't know me, I was raised as a Jehovah's Witness, which I am no longer, but I always joke that I've been knocking on doors since I was 5 years old, selling religion. And once I came of age, I guess, around my 20s, I got into a door-to-door selling, and I was selling newspapers door-to-door. Eventually, with my ex-partner was building teams of door-to-door individuals. So towards the end, right before shifting, I was running 6 offices over 4 different states.
Wow.
Straight commission, predominantly white men going door to door. So I was creating the workflows. I was doing the hiring, the firing, all of the training, traveling, and even just going out into the field with these individuals to teach them how to sell newspapers door to door. It was called the Circulation Department. I worked for the Chicago Tribune, the Daily Herald, the largest Chicago Tribune, one of the largest papers in the country back then. Ohio, Dayton Daily News, Pittsburgh, the Pittsburgh Trib and the Greensburg Trib. And then down here in Florida, Sun Sentinel, Miami Herald, and Palm Beach Post.
Wow.
And just was killing it in newspapers. But as we all know, they did start to die. And we did wind up getting into a few other things after we kind of started moving away from newspapers, still door to door. And then I left soon after that.
And what was the catalyst for that shift for you?
I mean, we were dating. I mean, we broke up.
All right.
But yeah, I mean, that was the actual catalyst, if we're going to get like TMI here, was the relationship was very abusive. So about 8 years into that relationship, I just had an epiphany where I just had to get my power back. He was controlling all of the money. I was working 14 to 16 hour days and getting paid $250 a week. So I was still broke. We were making millions of dollars towards the end. And I literally had no money. Like I was shopping at Aldi's and Goodwill and my credit was in the freaking ground because I was living off my credit cards. I couldn't make it and he wouldn't give me any more cash. So I had to get my power back because I was just in this victim mentality of he's controlling everything and I have no power. So I opened up 3 businesses, one of them was a coaching business. And I, over the course of just a few years, 2, 3, 4 years or so, collected $50,000, right? I had no clue what I was doing. I had never done online business before, online working before. So I collected $50,000 and I literally just ran away one day. I took my son, our clothes, and my bicycle. I left my bougie BMW and my big, huge Boca Raton house, and I moved out with a mattress on the floor with my son, my bicycle, and our clothes. And I started all over again and built my business from scratch.
And you got into the coaching world right immediately
right
after that.
I wasn't really doing, because everything was secretively, right? So I couldn't be doing like calls like this. It was all just very small. I also was running eBay. I was running OfferUp. I was doing work on Fiverr. So Fiverr's like a freelance.
Yeah.
And so just all of that accumulated together was able to kind of get me to collect that money secretly in a secret account and then just leave.
Wow.
Yeah.
Incredible resilience and courage and
Thank you.
strength and incredible.
Yeah. So the cool thing about it is I was working under the pressure. I was working under somebody who was telling me I was dumb, stupid, naive, and not college educated for so many years. So when I left, number one, time, right? Now I had all the time in the world. And then number 2, now I didn't have somebody saying all these negative things to me, which I was already saying to myself. This is what we do just as humans. Yeah. So I just was like opening a candy store up to somebody. I mean, it was just like to a little kid. It was like, what? I have all this time. And I just went full force ahead. And I wound up opening up an Airbnb in my house at the same time. I was flipping stuff on OfferUp. So I was just pulling money. And I always used to say that I took on the identity of a squirrel. You ever look at a squirrel? A squirrel's just full of anxiety. Like it's just all the time, just looking for nuts everywhere.
Yeah.
It's like kind of just low key, like shaking all the time, looking for nuts. And that's kind of the identity that I like proudly took on as far as collecting money. Like, where's the money? How can I get the money? Where are they? I can get the money. And I am where I am now financially because of that. And it feels so good. And I'm very grateful for the personal development journey that I was on, the healing journey that I've been on, the different identity shifts that I have willingly taken on and then also shed to get to where I am. Just really understanding the evolution of what it means to be a human and being okay with the mess of it, I think has really helped me. As
we talked about before we got on air, is just embracing the mess. Life is messy and nothing's perfect. It's going to be messy and that's okay. Step into it and own that shit.
Yeah, 100.
How have these experiences helped shape the Sabrina you are today, both personally and professionally?
How have these experiences helped me? I mean, they're everything. I mean, I wouldn't be who I am now because of it. The victim mentality, I remember the shift that I had distinct sitting with myself at a moment in time thinking, if I ever want to step into the powerful person that I know that I am, I can't also be hanging on to the victim. So very grateful for the situation that happened to me. This whole single mom, the abuse and the narcissism and all of the darkness that happened. I hung on to that for a really long time. That was my identity. I was the woe is me girl. Look at all the stuff I've gone through. Look at how hard this is. Look at anyone who met me heard my story as a victim, not as a victor. And there was a point in my story where I had to leap into a new identity that I had started to create for myself. And it was really scary because all of my accolades that I had ever known were from my story. It was always like, oh my gosh, Sabrina, good on you for leaving. Good on you for being so strong. Good on you for making a plan and figuring it out. And I didn't have a whole lot of accolades yet for this vision that I had for myself. So I didn't know what that would look like. Would that also feel good? Would that also fill me with dopamine? Would that also make me feel good? Would that also create some sort of an identity for me that would feel good for who I am as a person? And it was super scary, like 100% leaping from one identity to the next identity and just going all in and just saying, you know what? don't know if this is gonna work. There's no way that you can know fully the power that you have within yourself until you completely drop the victim mentality. So I have no bitterness. I have no hate. I have no frustration towards anyone or anything that happened to me in my challenges that were given to me. I now look at everything that has been given to me, the challenges that I have been through, as a thank you. Thank you so much for 1, 2, 3, and 4. Because of those things, I now am
who you are.
Fill in the blank. And I think sometimes of, if it would have just been easier or better, and how boring that was for me,
Yeah.
Not for everybody, but for me. I was meant for this. Like, I was meant for greatness. I was meant to go through all of this hardship to be the person that I am, and super, super grateful. And I'm not saying any of this to you or your listeners to make it seem like there ain't still some shit that's happening. There's always stuff, right? So, the darkness. There's still freaking darkness.
Yeah.
Everywhere. But now it's part of the story. So when something happens that's hard, I'm like, damn, this is a good story. I better write this down, because in 6 months or in a year, once I've overcome this and once I figured this out, I'm going to be able to tell this story. And this is just going to be another thing to inspire somebody to take a leap themselves. So I now see all of the challenges that I have as a learning experience for myself and an inspiration or an inspirational story that I then get to share with my audience, with my community, and with the people that I meet.
It's also great too. I mean, going through these challenges helps build our character, but it also teaches us that when the shit does come up again, albeit it'll be a different thing, but you learn how to deal with it or turn the volume down quicker or whatever the case may be. You build that resilience in yourself so you can deal with things easier, quicker, and better as they come down the pike for you, right?
100.
Can you share a pivotal moment from your personal journey that ignited your passion for empowering women entrepreneurs?
I would say when I was looking to leave the partnership that I was in, there was a point where I dove into personal development and I would Google inspirational stories. This was a long time ago, mind you, motivational story. And Google would present to me white old men. No offense. That's the truth. Tony Robbins, Joel Osteen, Jim Rohn, Les Brown, who isn't white but still old. And these men saved me. These men saved me. They really did, for real. I listened to them every single day on repeat in my ears. And they told me that anything was possible. They told me that I could be anything that I wanted to be if I set up a plan. They told me that if I did the thing over and over and over again, I could. And as much as I love and appreciate all of the words and the encouragement on repeat, there is a part of me that also really recognized the disconnect between a Hispanic, single mom, broke, uneducated, and no money, and freaking Tony Robbins. There's a huge disconnect. And I remember thinking to myself several times, like, the audacity, Sabrina, the audacity for you to think that you could go from here to here is ridiculous. But I believed. At the same time, I was also very aware of how hard it could be for someone else to possibly relate, because there's such a big gap between that. So I do what I do now to close the gap. So somebody could find me or could find my community and pull them just halfway. And then from here, we can all start striving for whatever that looks like. It could be stages. It could be massive amounts of people that you're inspiring. It could be the money. It could be the lifestyle, whatever it is. But what I am working on is closing the gap between, making a bridge, if you would, for the individuals that are down here and totally lost and totally in the dark and totally unsure and dealing with self-esteem issues and limiting belief issues. Hey, I'm literally right here. Like I can touch your hand.
Yeah.
Come with me and we can continue to step forward from there. So yeah, I remember specifically even somewhere, and I do plan on finding this at some point. It was so impactful to me that I took screenshots at one point of the Google search. It was like 72 men before you hit Oprah Winfrey or something crazy like that.
Well, I love the mission you're on and the work you're doing. It's incredible. And we need to send the elevator back down. We need to extend the hand down to help pull those up because there's someone above us pulling us up.
Yeah.
Right. So you got to continue that work. What are some of the common challenges you see that women entrepreneurs are encountering, and how do you support them in overcoming these obstacles?
I mean, the biggest one, unfortunately, that every woman I talk to talks about is imposter syndrome, which I just think is hilarious. And I tell them that because the definition of imposter syndrome is you've done great things and you don't acknowledge it. So in the definition of what it is proves that you're worthy. So I explain it like that every time. Whenever somebody says it, I'm just like, girl, do you even know what you're even saying right now?
Yeah.
You're literally telling me with your words by saying that you've done great things. So writing those down. I always say you have to have an ongoing list. I have an ongoing list of all of the accomplishments that I have ever made, big or small. And I also have a list of all of my stories, my challenges, my struggles, right? My stories that are going to inspire people as I continue to grow. So a lot of times when you write a list down of all of the things that you have done, you look at that list and you're like, damn, I'm a badass. We forget.
We do, because we don't celebrate those wins when they come. And we need to learn to celebrate.
Yeah.
Because when you celebrate, that also is a permission slip for others to celebrate because they see you celebrating. Yeah. And we have to do that. It's part of our journey. It's part of our work here on this planet is supporting and lifting each other. And when you do the things like celebrating and standing up and sharing your story, telling your story, it lets other people know that they're not alone and it's okay to do these things too.
Yes.
It's so important.
I actually really like that. Yeah, I've never really thought of it that way before. As far as like when other people can see you celebrating and that gives them permission to be able to do it too.
Absolutely.
I love that. Yeah.
It's true.
Great.
Because you're modeling that behavior for those who you surround yourself with. And because I guess we think it's boastful to celebrate or, oh, I just did this thing. It's no big deal. Yeah, it fucking is. It doesn't matter how big or small it is. Celebrate that shit. Own that shit. Because not only are you doing that for yourself, but you're doing it for the people around you. And they deserve that too.
I love that. I wrote that down. That's good. Yes, Brad. Dropping truth bombs. Get it. Dude, that's good.
Thank you. I'm glad you like it. Balancing the demands of entrepreneurship and personal well-being can be challenging. How do you encourage women entrepreneurs to prioritize self-care and maintain a healthy work-life balance?
I do not have balance. I do not believe in balance. But my situation's different though. Like I had a child when I was 20. I'm 41 years old. My child is 20 years old. I'm not married. I do have a fiance who's low maintenance. My son is completely independent. So my lifestyle is just different than most people. Most people still have some teenagers running around or if I could say anything, the one thing that I know I am really good at, and my son, my family will attest to this, is I work all the time. Yes. However, because I work when I'm working, some people aren't working when they're working.
Yeah.
Because I'm actually working when I work, that means when I am with you, quality time, dinner, on a car ride. My son, he just came back from Colombia and was telling us all about his escapades out in Colombia. I don't touch my phone. Nothing ringing distracts me. I'm not looking at anything. I am 150% engaged with the person or the people that I am with when I am with them. And I know that anybody would attest to that. You don't even see my phone.
Present
when
all the
I'm
way.
With people. Yeah. And the reason I'm able to do this, and I talk about this a lot on my coaching calls, the reason I'm able to do that, I feel as if, and I'm not necessarily speaking to project this onto anybody, like, I don't know, but I feel as if the reason there's this constant pull towards the phone or working when you're not supposed to be, when you're supposed to be with the people that are in front of you, is because of the guilt and the shame of knowing that you should have done more during the day. That's just me. When I'm with somebody, I know that I freaking worked my ass off today. So there's nothing hovering. Like, I got all my big stuff done. There's nothing hovering over me that I need to get done right now. So this person in front of me is 100% or 100% has my attention. There's no guilt. There's no shame. There's no FOMO. There's no, oh, I missed this. Oh, I wonder. Nothing, because I went through all the things in my business during the day and I'm caught up all the time. I'm always caught, even though the list is forever, I am always caught up. Because I'm always working on my ones. I'm always working on the number one priorities. And I don't flounder in stuff that's meaningless or that wastes time.
Looking ahead, what changes or trends do you anticipate in the landscape of women entrepreneurship? And how do you envision your role in shaping the future of this field?
Ooh, I'm going to get risky. And I'm going to say, and this sounds so dumb and I could possibly get a little bit of hate on this, but I'm going to say more money. If you look at the numbers, this isn't to say that women aren't succeeding. There are women that are succeeding. There are women that are thriving. But if you look at the numbers, it's not looking too good right now. It just isn't. I was just going through the Forbes, 100 Forbes richest people in the world with my son, actually, last night. And dude, it's like an eighth women. It's all freaking men. Now, granted, this is billions, right? This is like hundreds of billions of dollars, like tops people. Very few women. And also of those women, very few women who are self-made. So that's the turning point. I think that there are more women that are really understanding the myth of imposter syndrome. They're understanding that action is a big player in success, and knowing that everyone is afraid, men and women. Men just do it anyways. So, I mean, I think that's where we're stepping into. We're stepping into a space where women are becoming more comfortable stepping into fear. And because they're becoming more comfortable in stepping into fear, that's stages, that's online, that's creating an empire, that the turning point will be more success and more money in women's hands, which I just think is awesome. We spend more money anyways.
Exactly.
Right?
Women usually control the money and the spending in the household. So shit needs to fucking change, period.
Yeah, 100%.
I love it. What legacy do you hope to leave through your advocacy and support for women entrepreneurs? And how do you measure the impact of your work in that space?
Ooh, legacy. I talk about this all the time. Her Nation this year, mid-April, is launching its digital magazine.
Congratulations.
Thank you. The vision is to go all in on media, women being seen. So magazines, podcasts, panels, events, enormous stages. And the goal is to get tens, hundreds of thousands of women involved.
Fuck it, millions. You're thinking too small. Millions.
Well, I was going to say within the first 10 years, there's a 10-year vision for myself. And with that foundation, that's just the beginning. That's just the foundation. With that being able to sustain the legacy going forward for hundreds of years into millions of women. A lot of it also is we're talking women entrepreneurs. So I'm also just very aware that not all women are entrepreneurs. I do also see, as much as I see many women stepping into entrepreneurship, I also see a divide in more women backpedaling into the traditional role of motherhood also. So I think there is a divide in that, a strong divide. In women who are going all in on success and thriving businesses, and then women who are going all in on reverting back to the traditional housewife. And very interesting to see. I'm very interested to kind of see how we sit with that. Because right now, I think we're kind of just like confused. We're all just, I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. Am I supposed to be sweeping or am I supposed to be on a live right now? So I think there's going to be a distinct difference. And I think you're going to see more entrepreneurial, thriving women in business, hiring out help to do a lot of the household stuff that's supposed to be getting done. And then the other side.
I want to jump in and discuss your TEDx talk and that whole experience. Getting a TEDx talk is a huge dream and goal for a lot of people out there. Was this something that was a bucket list item for you personally?
Ooh, yes, but not when it happens. Not when it happened. When I found out there was an opportunity for me to be on TEDx, it was a random DM that dropped into my Instagram. And I literally thought, no offense, that it was a man in Nigeria trying to get my money. I watch a lot of Dr. Phil. And Dr. Phil tells me to watch out for the Nigerian men trying to take my money and scam me. No offense. And so, yeah, that's what I thought it was. And they were having conversations with me. And I was like, is this freaking for real? Like, why is this person? I was just waiting for them to be like, yes. And all you have to do is just send me $4,000. And yeah, I was waiting for that. Then about a month in of just little tiny conversations here and there, I didn't put a whole lot of time. I didn't get super excited because I didn't believe it. The person said, let's meet at Starbucks. And I was like, in person?
That ain't no Nigerian.
Dr. Phil says they never meet in person. So let's see. So I got all dazzled up and lo and behold, there's a little Colombian woman sitting there waiting for me. And yeah, I ended up on a TEDx stage. It was incredibly amazing. I'm so grateful. It was super hard and super challenging. For those of you that don't know, you have to fully memorize your TEDx speech. You have to script it out. You can't just willy-nilly it up there. Yeah. And it has to be under a certain amount of time. You have to stay within parameters of the whole thing, void of all the ums and the ahs. You have to practice 1,000 times and perform it like it's an acting gig, basically. But I freaking nailed it, dude.
You did. I watched your talk and you killed it. It was amazing.
Yeah, I was the 7th to go out of 9. I was the only standing ovation.
Wow.
Yeah. I walked off the stage and the clapping got louder and louder. So I had to like turn around and walk back up the center, which they didn't show on the video. And I just stood there. Wow, I was not expecting this. But yeah, 150 people in the audience. Awesome. It was awesome.
Can you share a little bit about your talk? What was it called? All that stuff.
Yeah, it was on coercive control. So talking a lot about my past. It was about invisible abuse. So the signs that are seen but unseen and how they kind of mesh their way in there. They get you to believe that they're building an honest, open, trustworthy relationship with you. And they just start to drop little tidbits of name calling or swearing or throwing things. And just little though, nothing crazy, just to kind of test you, just to kind of see, ooh, what is she going to do? And they kind of warm you up. Like they start with these little things and then they do a little bigger thing. And I pictured his example they give of a frog, which I don't even know if that's true or not. But the frog, if you put it in boiling water, it'll jump out. But if you just slowly boil the water, then the frog stays in the water. And that's kind of what it is. They just slowly start to boil it. Then before you know it, you're surrounded by just toxicity all over the place. By then, they got control of you. And my situation was he brought me into his house as a gift because I couldn't afford rent anyways. I was dead broke mom. And he offered to move me in his house as a gift. I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. And then he offered to give me a job. He's quit your job and come work for me. And he wasn't paying me nearly enough because I was living rent free. So I couldn't pay my car. I couldn't pay my phone. So instead of paying me more money, he was like, get rid of your phone and come onto my phone bill. Get rid of your car and get out of my car. And then I turn around and I have nothing, own nothing. I have no money. I'm working 14 to 16-hour days. And as he gained more control, the abuse just went off the rails. I mean, it was just the things that were said and done were just insane. And the thing that I really hone in on during the talk is there was no physical abuse. So how do you describe fear and trauma when there are no cuts and no bruises?
Well, they're all mental. They're all in here. Which is actually, in my opinion, and not to take anything away from women or men who have been physically abused, but the mental abuse is worse because it stays longer. Those scars stay a lot longer. The cuts and the bruises, again, I'm not taking anything away. I just want to be clear about that. But the cuts and bruises heal.
Yeah.
The mental abuse, it takes a lot longer to heal those wounds.
Yeah.
for sure.
100%. Yeah. One of the things I was talking earlier about running away from my story, which has been the catalyst for the start of the success of my business. One of the things that he told me towards the end of our relationship, when he could kind of feel me gaining more power, he didn't know exactly what was going on because everything was being done in secret. He could feel it. Probably once I hit about $12,000, my whole demeanor changed, because at that point, if he was just like, get out of my house, I was like, good. Like I could live, like I could get a place and be decent on $12,000 and just get a job and just figure it out. But he would tell me that if I ever left, he'd find me. First of all, he said, you'll never make more than $31,000 a year, which is like such an odd number.
That is an odd number.
Yeah. And that was a big deal for me when I hit 31. That actually became a goal of mine, to hit 31,000. Yeah. I was like, once I hit 31,000, I'm fucking leaving this place. In my head, I never said that out loud because of what he said to me. I actually wound up collecting 50,000, but nonetheless. And then the other thing he would say to me is, if you ever left, I would find you living behind a dumpster in a cardboard box within just a couple of months of leaving me, because you'll never be able to make it on your own. You have to have me.
Yeah.
You need me. So that stuck with me. Just even that vision of me and my son, like living in a cardboard box behind a dumpster. And just I really felt that, because he said it over and over again with so much venom.
Well, when someone speaks something like that or tells you something repeatedly, on repeat, ad nauseum, you start to believe it because it's continually in your head.
Yeah. It almost felt like witchcraft, like when I think about it. Like it almost felt like he was putting a spell on me. And I had to work extra hard to make sure that didn't, like visually, that's just how I like embodied it. Where if I wanted to break the spell, I had to double, triple down on everything with so much velocity to repel the witcher. We weren't in that space, but that's just what it felt like.
Yeah.
You know?
You had to counteract it.
Totally.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah. But the TEDx was amazing. It was one of the best experiences of my life up to this point. I do plan on there being way more better experiences in my life.
You think you'll do another TEDx, or is that done now?
That's done. I'm good. It's a lot harder than people think. People just throw that around like it's no big deal. Oh, it's on my bucket list. Dude, you have to really hone in. They're not messing around over there. It's a live freaking performance. It's being recorded. It's high stakes. Yeah. Everyone showed up. Everyone performed. Everyone did a really good job on our team. But I was super proud of myself. I rehearsed hundreds of hours to get it to where it was.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
As mentioned off the top, you are a podcast host of not one, not two, but 3 podcasts. Can you share with us a little bit about the podcast, the names, and what was the inspiration behind getting into doing 3 podcasts? I mean, one is a lot of work in itself. So share.
So my main podcast, my favorite podcast, no offense, is my Her Nation podcast, which is called Her Talk Show. It's based on one question. The question is to a woman, what do you know that you wish more women knew? So we pull one singular topic out. We talk for 30 minutes. We dive down deep. We ask all the questions. We get super curious. We laugh. We cry. Super fun and super just off the cuff. Sober Society podcast is our sober podcast all around the relapse of sobriety and avoiding it. So we talk a lot about limiting beliefs, a lot about identity, leaving the identity of alcoholism, like I am an alcoholic, which is what AA pushes a lot. Yeah. And steering away from that instead of I am an alcoholic, finding identities that are more empowering rather than disempowering. And what that looks like, right? What that looks like in real life. We interview individuals who are doing things, who have created a new identity, who are writing books, who are inspiring others, who are being successful in their lives out of a really dark addiction. So really just showcasing that and just allowing individuals to realize that you can pull yourself out of it. You can pull yourself out of it. And it is a choice. No one can do it for you. It has to be a personal choice that you decide to do to be able to make that pivot. And then Human Better 365 podcast is all just about humaning better. So we take very interesting people who are doing big things in their life and just kind of sit down and ask, what are you doing? What does that feel like? What does that look like? And diving deep into their lives, their journeys, their challenges in order to inspire others.
Love it.
Yeah.
You mentioned Her Nation. You are the visionary behind that. Can you tell us about all the things Her Nation and what the inspiration was for that?
Yeah. Her Nation is everything to me. This is my vision. It didn't start this way. It started as just a little Facebook group that I had started, and then it turned into a little tiny podcast that I just started. And it has morphed into just an enormous vision for myself and my community as to where we can take this with the leverage of each other. So I picture us or present us as building a foundation, building a structure or a bridge, like I said, to get to the ultimate place that we want to be in our businesses, which is successful, which is thriving. Yeah. But not just like we're doing it together. The whole idea behind it is a teacher-student concept of we're all teachers and we're all students. So something that I don't know, but I also know something that you don't know. And we can meet and speak and share those resources, then we both take a step up. So the idea is when you're in and amongst a sea of individuals who are moving forward in their life, who are doing things with their life, there's a constant plug-in of resources and mental mindsets that you can plug into to be able to continue to move forward faster than you could if you were alone.
Collaboration and community, they are the keys. They're the foundation for everything in life. Everything, not just entrepreneurship, everything. We can't do this thing called life alone. It's impossible. Can you share with us what Human Better 365 is all about? Yeah,
Human Better 365 is the end result. That is probably 12 to 15 years. The idea is, I feel like I just keep saying no offense. The idea is, so saying it again, low key, I have done so much personal development in my world. I have done classes and courses and programs, and things are pivoting literally right now. So I can't say this is true today speaking in 2024. However, when this idea was becoming, the idea was I had been in so many rooms of personal development, and the majority of people in those rooms were men. They just were. And I am very confident and comfortable in and amongst men because my whole background is sales, all men, door to door. Those very aggressive individuals that I'm around, having to reel those people in and tell them to calm down is not difficult for me. So I am comfortable, but majority of women are not comfortable. So the idea is to grow Her Nation to be just an obscene amount of women who are running businesses, and then release Human Better 365 as a university almost of personal development. And because of the robust amount of females that I have collected over the past decade, it would be teeter-tottering or lopsided in the direction of more women than men. So when it was released as a personal development place to be for co-ed, for all humans, right? Human Better. When a woman walked in, there would just be more women. And what that would feel like for a woman to be able to walk into a room like that and just be surrounded by so many women and just a pepper full of men. And not for any other reason. This isn't, we hate men. It just is the way it is right now. Like it just is more, and we're just supposed to be cool with that. Like we are just cool with it. It's just, that's just the way it is.
Yeah.
So not for any other reason than just, I don't know, why not? Why
change the game?
Why can't there be an atmosphere of learning where you walk in and there's just an incredible amount of females in the room and just less men? What would that be like? I just feel like that would just be so interesting and so cool. And I even feel like the men would appreciate it.
That's my world. That's what I experience all the time.
Would walk in and they'd be like, dang, this is freaking crazy.
I love it. It's amazing. It is. To be in that energy. I was in Vegas in October and I was there to photograph a women's awards show. And I was one of maybe 5 men that were there. There was about 120 people there. And I was one of maybe 5 men. And to be in that energy was fucking inspiring as shit.
Wow.
I had never experienced anything like that in my life. To see the sense of sisterhood and collaboration and celebration of these women, and to hear all the amazing things that these women have accomplished. I left Vegas a different man than when I got there. It was abso-fucking-lutely incredible. I've never experienced anything like it. It was amazing.
Wow.
I loved being in that energy and in that space. It was phenomenal. We definitely need more of that shit. That's for sure. It was just so inspiring for me as a man to be in that energy and in that space. It was unbelievable.
Very, very cool.
Yeah,
very
it was
cool.
amazing.
That makes me feel good.
It was phenomenal. I have never, ever experienced anything like it in my life.
Wow.
It was so it was transformational for me, honestly. I can't even, there's not enough words to express how incredible it was.
Wow. Yeah, so that's the vision. I'm not like shouting that from the rooftops, but between me, you, and everyone listening. That's the secret. That's the idea. That's the mission, is to have something really beautiful like that.
I love it. What do you think your unique skill set or superpower is that's helped you become successful?
Ooh, I was just thinking about this the other day. I don't know why I was thinking about this. I was listening to a podcast. I would say I make decisions quickly and I pivot when I know that it is wrong quickly. I don't spend a whole lot of time in the whole mulling it over.
Yeah.
Right? I get an idea. I take 2 solid hours, 2 solid days, whatever, depending on the decision. And girl, we're rolling. We're rolling. And then if it was a bad decision, just freaking figure it out, pivot, get out, save yourself. I am where I am now. I have what I have. The community that I have is where it is because of that decisiveness. I don't ask people. I don't inquire. I don't have to call 17 people before making a decision. I just know innately. I have come to the realization that every person knows the answer to all of their questions, unless it's something medical or something. But in general, should I do this? You know the answer. Yeah. You don't have to call your mom and your sister and your best friend and your colleague and your husband, and you already know the answer. So probably about 10 years ago, I don't even know where I got this from, but about 10 years ago, I was told, heard, saw this concept of a coin flip. Okay. So a decision is coin flip. You're going to go right or you're going to go left. Most things,
True.
Right?
Yeah.
The idea is not to flip a coin heads or tails and then it tells you what to do. The idea is deeper than that. The idea is flip a coin, catch it, flip it. When it was in the air, what was your initial thought as to what you hoped it would be? That's your answer. You don't even have to look. Actually, I recommend you not to look. I used to do that physically. Now I do that metaphorically. I literally just, okay, coin toss, right or left? Right. That's the answer. And then we just go for a ride. And if it's wrong, no big deal. Everything's a learning experience. We pivot, we turn, we pull out, we cancel the emails, whatever it is, and we move on.
Love it.
We move on. Yeah. No one's going to know. You're never going to know unless you just do. That's my whole thing. True. And we spend so much time in the process of thinking about it that it just passes you by. It just passes you by. You're already supposed to be 17 steps forward by the time you make one decision. If I would have thought too hard on this whole thing and everything had to be perfect, I had to get everything, we would still not even be done. We wouldn't have even started yet. And now look where we are.
Speaking of success, how do you define that word?
Success is, to me, spending more time doing things that I'm good at. That's success to me. I feel like when I've really hit what I believe is success, I will be sitting in a world where all the things that I do in my day, I am really good at. I am still in a world right now where I do things in my world I am not good at or I don't want to be doing. And a lot of that just comes from the finances to be able to outsource or pull in help or whatever that is. So I'm building my team as we speak for my personal life and my business life. And that's a slow process, right? I have goals. I have things that are being built. And as they continue to be built, I'll continue to outsource. But that will be success for me, where every single thing that I'm doing in my day, I want to be doing. And I'm good at. I think that would be success.
What does the word empowerment mean to you?
Ooh, empowerment. I'm going to pull in the painting behind me where it says, yes, you can. I painted this behind me, by the way. Her name is Frida.
Beautiful.
Empowerment is coming to a realization in your life that you can. That's it. There was so much of my life that was wasted on thinking that I couldn't, either because somebody else said or because I said. And it's literally all false. You can. That's just it. You know,
Period.
I'm not going to say that you're going to be the best, right? If you had a goal, Brad, to be an NBA player, I mean, I don't know.
I think I'm a little too short for that.
Play basketball, right? So there is just rules of physics that come into play. However, could you set a goal where you wanted to shoot a basket on an NBA court?
Sure.
You could do that. You could figure out a way, create a plan, talk to the right people, and over the course of time, end up doing that. So I believe, yes, you can to everything. To be able to sit in a space of empowerment is just knowing that and acting on that.
Okay, we're going to jump into a little rapid fire section here. So the next grouping of questions just be 1, 2, 3, 4-word answer type thing, okay?
Okay.
How would you describe yourself in one word?
Powerful.
If you could teach the world one thing, what would it be?
Resilience.
If you could be remembered for one thing, what would that be?
Ooh, being the best mom.
Love it. What is one thing you love about yourself that is not related to your physical appearance?
Ooh, I mean, there's so much. I love my work ethic.
What is one thing you want but cannot buy with money?
I have everything that I want right now.
Okay. If you were writing your autobiography, what would the title be?
She thought she couldn't and did anyways.
Love it. That concludes our rapid fire section. Now back to our regularly scheduled program. You rocked it, Sabrina.
Thank you.
If you could step into my shoes, what question would you have asked yourself that I didn't ask you?
Ooh, I think your questions have been absolutely phenomenal. I've loved every single question. There's no question.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I received that and I appreciate that. What is an unexpected blessing or occurrence in your life that you're grateful for?
Just recently stepping into, I can ask for help.
That's a big one for a lot of people. It's hard.
Yeah.
Because we're taught to do things on our own.
Yeah. Just recently, probably within the last year, it feels good. And I'm happy that I've decided to start to step into it.
Good for you. What is your why?
Ooh, my son.
What is one of your biggest failures or life lessons or teachable moments? And what did you learn from it?
My whole life has been a lesson. Oh my God. What did I learn from it? Never give up. I mean, there was so many times where I just wanted to throw the towel in. You just don't even know. Like, people don't even know. They look now and they're like, whoa, Sabrina, good for you. It's, dude, you have no idea how many times this almost didn't happen. Just believing and trusting in my ability to do. That's really it.
If you had the opportunity to sit down and have a 1-hour conversation with one woman, any woman in the world, who would it be and why?
Barbara Cochran. Real estate mogul. She's on Shark Tank, and her and I's story is very aligned as far as the beginning. And I just absolutely adore her.
If you could go back and give your younger self one piece of advice, what would that piece of advice be?
Everything's going to be okay.
Lastly, if you were to deliver your last 30-second speech to the world, your tribe, your people, your corner of the world, what would that last 30 seconds sound like? What words of wisdom would you impart?
Oh, go after it. Don't second think it. If it's in your gut, if you feel the light, go for it. We got to stop overthinking things, and we need to stop overanalyzing and doubting our abilities to be able to show up for ourselves. I think that we all have the ability to be able to do. I think that we all have a light within us. It's just so many of us aren't following it, and it comes from fear. So what we were talking about earlier, more women, humans, need to allow themselves to step into that fear in order to create the successful vision, life, purpose that they're here for.
Beautiful. Sabrina, thank you so very much for such an incredibly fun, inspirational, and beautiful conversation. I am so grateful to have had the opportunity to sit down and speak with you and share a little bit about the light you put out into the world through the work you do, your story, your journey. I'm grateful to have you as a member of the Empowerography community. Thank you for all that you do and all that you are.
Yes, thank you.
My pleasure. Once again, my name is Brad Walsh, host of your Empowerography podcast. Today, my guest has been Sabrina Victoria. She is the creator and visionary behind Her Nation, an NLP practitioner, a life coach, a TEDx speaker, host of the Listen In podcast, the owner, founder of Human Better 365, the host of the Human Better podcast, and the co-host of the Sober Society podcast. Thank you so much, Sabrina. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for listening to this podcast. If you haven't yet, please be sure to subscribe, rate, review, and share with all your friends. You can find me at viseuphoria.ca and follow me on Instagram at Empowerography Podcast and on Facebook at Empowerography. Please join me next time for another inspirational story from yet another amazing woman.